Hi, everybody. Welcome to Things in My Head. I'm Angel, your host. I've got back with us today our Rocky Mountain essential oils expert, Paul Dean. He is going to be answering your question. Actually, there's one specific question that has been weighing on a lot of our listeners' minds. We're going to be talking to him about that today, and we're going to be talking about something really special that happened with Rocky Mountain Oils and a promotion that they had right after this.
Your wedding day. You've dreamed about it your whole life. You want the perfect dress, the perfect flowers. So call Bridgeport Lake Bed and Breakfast for the perfect location. Nestled on Bridgeport Lake in Texas, your dream wedding will come to life with the help of our professional wedding coordinator who can handle your perfect day as if it were her own. Make your dreams come true. Call Bridgeport Lake Bed and Breakfast 940-644-0081 or visit www.bridgeportlakebnb.com.
Hey, and we're back with Rocky Mountain Oils owner and expert, Paul Dean. Hi, Paul. Welcome back.
Hello. Great to be here. Thank you.
So the last time you were here, we talked extensively about essential oils in the medicine cabinet. What kinds of oils and blends should we have on hand? And since then, Rocky Mountain Oils and their sister company, Native American Nutritionals, had a contest that had basically customers would send in their blends, their ideas for blends, and then they would have a voting system and all of that. And they were going to pick 3 of the top and produce those blends. Now, we did that. I have a blend that I use called Muscle Relax that I use every single night. My back got screwed up with car accidents and things like that. And we had a bad mattress when I invented it. And so I was waking up every morning with muscle aches and stuff. So I started putting that on every night before I went to bed and woke up glorious. So that's the blend that I submitted into the contest. And lo and behold, we won the second place. So Rocky Mountain Oils is going to produce that blend. It's called Muscle Relax. And we don't know when you're going to see that, right, Paul? We don't have a timeline on that right yet?
I don't have a timeline on
Okay. But when that comes out, we're going to get 3 bottles. Now, what's going to happen is I am going to give away 1 bottle to my listeners because you guys were the ones that voted and got us in that top 3 and got that blend made. So this is just as much your victory as it is mine, and I want to share it with you. So be looking for that. That's our special announcement that I told you last week we were going to talk about. But yeah, we're going to have that contest. So be looking for that. You need to go to our website, www.thingsinmyhead.net, and take a look every day because we may just throw it up there and not tell you for a little while. So you got to look. Okay, so anyways, getting to our discussion today, Paul, one of the questions that we had, now we have a call-in on our site now, and we've had people emailing us, and we had a couple of calls, and the biggest question, can I use essential oils on my pets and livestock? And I've seen, on the net, I've seen a few little blips about it here and there, cats, maybe not so much, dogs okay, livestock with caution. What is the real scoop on this? Can we really?
Yes. Let me put it this way. Cats are super hypersensitive to the essential oils. So even though you can use them on it, it really comes down to you're using, a 1/16 of a drop or an 1/8 of a drop, on the cat. So generally, we say don't use the essential oils for cats just because they're so hypersensitive.
That would be really hard to measure too.
Exactly. So what's normally just good enough for the cats is just having it in the air, putting it on yourself and, having it in the air around the cats. That's normally good enough for the cats.
Now, should you use it full strength on yourself if the cat is so sensitive to it?
It just depends on how sensitive you are to it as well. But no, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Because most of it's going to be inside on your body and going inside. The cat's only going to get what evaporates off into the air. And, if the cat doesn't like it, she'll walk away and leave you alone there. But so generally, as a general rule, cats don't use the essential oils on the cats there. Now, other animals, great success. Matter of fact, we find animals respond to the essential oils even better than humans do.
Wow, that's a surprise.
Oh, it is. It probably has to do a lot with, their makeup and their diets and things like that. But just, depending upon their size, obviously you're going to use a lot less oil for a small dog than you would for like a 110-pound Rottweiler or, a thoroughbred racehorse that's even bigger than that. But generally, as you apply it to yourself, a few drops here and there for your activity, you would do the same thing for the animal depending upon their size.
Now, I know, like my Cairn Terrier, he absolutely does not like the smell of the oils. He doesn't want to be anywhere near them. In fact, every time I put one on, he's like doing this gag thing. It sounds awful. But from what I've heard, like to find out whether especially dogs, whether they can tolerate it or it's something that they need, leave it in the bottle, leave the bottle closed and put it down on the floor and see if they're either attracted to it or if they play with it or if they just walk away and ignore it. Is that true?
Yes, that's great. It comes down to this. Some dogs are highly attracted to a lot of the essential oils, and some essential oils they hate and they run away from. Like I have one person has told me this. One dog is really, really attracted to the Tranquility blend we have. They just love it. They'll go over there and they'll, want you to put it on and roll around in it and all of this. Where, I know my little Chihuahua there, he runs from it. He's being a little bit hyperactive. I'll get it out and he sees me go over there and grab it, and he just starts running. Run away. But, I'll just put a couple drops in my hand and then rub it on the fur on the neck there.
Oh, okay.
And every time I do that, he probably just doesn't want to calm down because, he'll be asleep in 10 minutes.
He's playing.
Yes. Like I'm playing, I don't want to be calm. But, so some animals, just like people, some scents we like and some scents we don't, and it's going to vary and change depending on, the animal there. But that is one really good way. I'll tell you one thing here. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. A gentleman, he called me about his dog having cancer, and he wanted to know what to do, and he was on a very limited budget, so what we came down with was just putting some lemon oil in his water.
Wow.
And what we did first off is to do that is I like to, instead of just putting it there and having it float on top there, I just have him take a little bit of honey and put a drop in the honey and mix it in with this honey and then stir it into his water bowl so the essential oil was emulsified throughout the whole water there. And so he tried that, just put one drop in there, and the dog went over to it, sniffed it, didn't like it, walked away, didn't want to do it, and then finally got thirsty enough, went over there and drank it, And this went on for a few days. The owner kept increasing a little bit of the essential oil in the water, and then eventually, he was getting 5 to 10 drops of essential oil, lemon oil in his water there, and he would drink it every day. Well, the good thing is the dog's cancer went away, went back into remission, and he got all healed up. Well, the gentleman that told me this story, he says, and after he was all cleared up and the vet said he's perfectly fine, he says, I did another experiment. It's like I put down the water with the lemon in it, and I put down the water that it was regular, tap water that he used before. And he says, I had 2 bowls down there, and he says, I kept them down there for a couple of days. The dog refuses to drink anything but the lemon water.
Wow.
So obviously he has some innate knowledge that's what helped cure him.
Right. And I've heard that before, that dogs and animals in general have this kind of sixth sense that they know what's good for them, and they tend to stay away from like poisonous plants and things like that, unless they're puppies and they haven't really developed that. But usually older dogs, they tend to stay away from things that really are not good for them, and they gravitate towards things that are. And that's really interesting. I know, like my little Westie loves it when I put vanilla in the baking soda and spray it on the carpet, as a carpet deodorizer, and then vacuum it up. My Cairn Terrier will attack the vacuum, and my Westie is like following the vacuum around, sniffing it. But yeah, you have to find like different oils, I think, that they really gravitate to. Now, you were talking about ailments, cancer. What about sprains? That tends to be something, especially younger dogs. What can we use for sprains on their little legs?
Yes, just like a human, you grab one of the oils like our Sports Pro or our Relieve Me. The pain relief helps stimulate the circulation and healing up. Even horses, for that matter. My brother-in-law, he went out and he pushed his horse too far and too hard, and it got a bowed tendon. And normally, people in the horses say if that happens, say goodbye to your horse, basically.
Right.
It's useless there. But he went and he got the essential oils I recommended. He got the Relieve Me. He also got some helichrysum, and he got some lemongrass. Lemongrass is wonderful for tendons and things like that. And he applied that on his horse's leg there, and he was amazed at how quickly, but he was back out. He says he wanted to be very gentle with it and stuff, and so he waited a whole month before he, going out and really pushing his horse hard very much. But he says, completely better. He's like, it was a miracle there. So
wow.
That's and it's the same with animals. They get sprains or broken legs or things like that. Use the essential oils. I really love the Relieve Me. It's high end. It's very strong and powerful, but you might get away with something not quite as expensive, like, the Sports Pro or something like that. But just rubbing it on, it's going to take away the pain. It's going to take away the inflammation. It's going to stimulate the circulation, which turns around, brings more nutrition to that area. The blood is pumping in more of the vital nutrients that it needs to repair that. So you're going to find, generally with using the essential oils, you're going to find that half the recovery time if you didn't use them, if not a lot more than that. Sometimes, a quarter of the time that it would take.
Wow, awesome. Now, you mentioned horses. A friend of mine, Jill, she's an oily person, and she swears by them on her cows.
Oh yes. No, cows, any large mammal, they're wonderful for it. Calming them down, the tranquility oil, you could just, you put it on yourself or around them, or just put it on the cows and things like that. Training the animals. My same brother-in-law who did his horse there, he found out that, what normally would take him 2 hours to train a horse to do, he could have it done in 15 minutes when he used the oils.
Wow.
He would just go and use them and calm them down and relax them.
That's crazy.
And so if you get the animal where it's just calm and relaxed and learn, the essential oils, like peppermint, for example, or the mint oils will stimulate the brain function. They found it in humans that we get 30% better test results on our tests when we use peppermint.
Well, then that must be my husband's deal, because he's in school right now at the end of his semester, and I am constantly using peppermint. It's one of my favorite oils, and he's on the president's list. What can I say?
oh yeah, no. Have him bring some in when he does the final test and just put it right underneath his nose.
I do, absolutely. Yeah, he's and he's kind of funny. He's like, "Oh, well, that's your thing. I'll save that for you." And I'm like, "No. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, dude." But hey, so I got a question for you. Now, one of the things that, especially this time of year, things are getting hot. The pests are out. They're in the grass, they're in the air. You've got mosquitoes carrying all kinds of viruses that we get, and you've got the fleas and the ticks and the wasp and the bees, and these are all hazards to our pets and our livestock. They can really, really do some damage now. What can we do to combat that?
Yeah, there are oils that deter and push away, the pests. There, we actually make up some blends, like our Bug Off formula. There is one, but generally oils like eucalyptuses, for example, those they don't like that, and it'll actually kill the pests too. Or tea tree, that's another one. Peppermint, I know peppermint deters rodents.
Yeah, peppermint actually will deter wasp as well. Does tea tree kill wasp, maybe?
It can, yes. It can.
My big question that I've asked you, I think every time you've been on, how do I get rid of the wasp?
Yes, and just get a squirt bottle full of water and put some tea tree in there, and then just squirt them, and they don't like it, and it drives them away or kills them there. But naturally you hear the citronella candles and citronella and other things like that. But I mean, the essential oils can be very powerful. For me, when I go and give my dogs a bath there, I'll use the shampoo and I'll put tea tree in it because it'll kill the fleas there and the eggs with it. And of course, the more tea tree you use, and you want to be safe because you don't want to overdose your animal, but the more effective it's going to be.
Right. Now, we talked about the tea tree before on the last show that you did. Melaleuca and tea tree are essentially the same thing, but am I right in saying that Melaleuca is a little bit milder?
It is. They are pretty close. They're the same Melaleuca family there. And a lot of people like the Melaleuca better because they consider it a more uniform oil for lots of different things, whereas the tea tree really is great for antibacterial and really great for killing bugs and things and antiseptic, whereas the Melaleuca can also be good for a lot of other things as well. I mean, I've had people tell me that they just had that oil and they rubbed it on their stomach and got rid of a stomach ache, which is not something that you would expect from that.
No, usually peppermint for me is my go-to for stomach aches or tummy rub.
Yeah, but it's a great oil, and kind of generally the Melaleuca costs less, and it's a more universal oil. But if you're just using it for killing fleas, definitely get the tea tree.
Oh, okay. Now I know that tea tree oil gets rid of skin tags. I've seen that over and over and over again, and older dogs tend to get skin tags. Can you use the tea tree oil to do that on an older dog?
You can. It's perfectly safe there. Just put a drop on there and, keep it on there a couple times a day there.
Awesome. Okay, so we got to go to commercial break. I know. But when we come back, I'm specifically going to ask Paul about a question. It has nothing to do with animals. We're going to kind of switch gears here a little bit. But I'm a voiceover artist, as many of you know, and in a lot of my voiceover circles, the big discussion lately has been allergies and our vocal cords, how to take care of those things. So if you're a singer, if you're a voiceover artist, if you are a DJ or an MC or anybody that does any kind of public speaking, you need to listen to this next segment. We'll be right back.
Hey bloggers, do you want to expand your readership? Maybe you have a special event or giveaway you want to promote. Podcast commercials are a dynamic way to reach out to your audience. Consider the power of podcast for your blog. Email Feathers Everywhere Productions at podcastcommercials@gmail.com and get noticed.
Hey, we're back with Paul Dean from Rocky Mountain Oils, and it's always a pleasure to have you on, Paul. We learn so much. In the last segment, we talked about animals and things like that, but I want to switch gears here because the big discussion in my voiceover circles and among my performer and entertainer friends has been care of the vocal cords, especially during this allergy season. There's swelling in the sinuses and in the throats and trying to keep the postnasal drip down and trying to keep the sinuses clear of infection and no sore throats and keep the vocal cords, limber and ready and all that. Every single time I tell them lemon, 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 lemon. Now, you got to back me up here, Paul.
Well, lemon's good. Lemon's going to help clean out mucus and clean out toxins and keep your body in general overall well health there. Let me kind of go with this. You mentioned allergies before.
Right.
The essential oils you're going to find, like peppermint smelling it or other oils you're going to find, they work a teeny tiny bit on allergies. But
yeah, and I find peppermint, like a really strong scent like that. When my sinuses are swollen, I don't want to smell peppermint. It hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it's too strong for me when my sinuses are hurting and they're swollen. So
yes, and people try different things, but there's one oil that does. It's black cumin oil.
Wow.
Black cumin. What you have to do, you have to take that internally, and you have to build up your body and take larger amounts of it. Now, a better way for that is through our defense supplement. It has the black cumin in it. It has other things in it too. But I mean, I used to suffer from my seasonal allergies. My whole life I did. And when we first came out with the defense formula, I started on it in the wintertime just because I didn't want to get sick during the winter. But when springtime came along, I didn't get my allergies. And that's been, gosh, I guess 7+ years since, and I haven't had my allergies since.
Wow.
So kind of the black cumin is the oil, but you have to take so much oil of that. It's usually just recommended just to take the defense supplement because it has the black cumin as well as, the Native American herb Siaga, which is phenomenal. Wonderful things there.
Miracle herb.
Yeah,
I love that stuff. Love it. I mean, it completely turned my whole immune system around. And I always get really disappointed when I'm close to getting out of it and we don't have a paycheck coming in. And I'm always like, please go on special. Please go on special. But yeah, we love defense. Love that. And yeah, my listeners know that because that's pretty much the two things that I tell people to get all the time are the peppermint and the defense. Unless you're in a voiceover form, then I tell you lemon. But I put the lemon actually in my drink. Like I'll have water with me in the booth. And I'll put like a couple of drops in my water, shake it up. And I find that it really helps to lubricate my vocal cords. And you're right, it does keep that mucus down. It keeps, if you have any kind of postnasal drip or any kind of swelling or anything in the throat, it really takes care of that like within minutes.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. But black cumin, wow. Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's a great oil. I mean, the Muslims and people over in the Middle East have a saying that black cumin cures everything except for death. Very, very powerful oil.
Do you have one for that?
Not an oil. Well, the closest thing probably frankincense. The sacred frankincense. Keep that on.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
I mean, other things that are great. Frankincense oil. Lemongrass is, the connective tissue and ligaments and things like that. I know for laryngitis, I had a gentleman that they told me marjoram did great. And marjoram is the oil kind of for muscles and stuff. But
right. We're not talking about the stuff that you put on your toast in the morning. It's marjoram.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, an herb. Yes, correct. There. And, just generally, my biggest thing would be, do the citruses a little bit to flush it out. Take the defense supplement that's going to get your immune system where it needs to be. It's also the big thing that also activates the stem cells, so it's going to regenerate your body over time. And then you can do some oils like, lemongrass is a hotter oil, but mix it with olive oil or some type of vegetable oil. Lemongrass, frankincense, marjoram. Even eucalyptus for that matter, people have said they had great results with it. And you can just rub that right on your neck area or on your chest where you can breathe it in.
Right.
And people will notice.
Yeah, eucalyptus is a big one. I've actually told people they're into this Vicks Vapo Rub stuff, and I've told people, look, don't buy that. But get you some vitamin E oil and mix it with the eucalyptus and rub that on your chest. And that's actually worked for me.
You're using healthy things rather than something that's potentially unhealthy. The more healthy alternatives you can use, the better.
And you're not using a petroleum byproduct either, which is a plus.
Yes.
So, but yeah, there's so many little tricks. And so, Paul, tell me, every Monday on your sister site, the Native American Nutritionals Facebook page, you have a minute with Paul. And you always post a little tip. A Paulism is what I call them. And you're giving these tips and things for the essential oils. Are we going to see that on Rocky Mountain Oil's site anytime soon?
Yes, we will. I don't know why they haven't had it up.
Okay. So, because we feel like we've been missing out. The other site hit 10,000 Facebook page views recently or 10,000 fans recently. And, Rocky Mountain Oils, we're just as good. Come on. Same company.
Yeah.
You know, so we need to have our 7,000 fans. We need to boost that up to 10,000. So if you're listening and you like the shows on essential oils and you really want to give them a try, you want to know more information about them, go and like their Facebook page. It's Rocky Mountain Oils on Facebook. And you can always connect to them through our Facebook page at Things in My Head blog. And remember that our website and our Facebook page are different because we did drop the blog and added a net on the website. So it's thingsinmyhead.net. You can always connect to Rocky Mountain Oils and Paul through there. Also, be watching because, like I said at the top of the show, we are going to be giving away a bottle of that Muscle Relax. Are there any specials coming up, by the way, speaking of giveaways and specials and things like that? Are there any specials that we should be aware of coming up?
Well, yes. Our biggest specials in November there. They're going to obviously do the Black Friday. That's our biggest special of the whole year. And then all through November is our big deals. But they throw it in from time to time. They stopped telling me what's on special
because you tell us ahead of time.
I tell other people, they're like, no, we're not supposed to let people know about that. Yes, yeah, that was a surprise. So I really
3,000 listeners cannot be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know what is coming up on special, but I know that they try to at least get on. If you go to the website and you sign up for their newsletter, they at least try to send out one special a month.
Yeah, they do. They really do. Every month I do get something. It's either free shipping or 15% off of an oil. There's always an oil of the month, which I love because it's always geared towards that season. So yeah, you can get a lot of really, really good specials if you sign up for the newsletter, and they don't bombard you. Let me tell you, they do not bombard you with a lot of spam. They have a really great newsletter. It's really informative, and it comes out, I think I get one at least once a month, maybe twice a month. I don't get one every day or anything like that, or even once a week. Yeah, go to the website. It's RockyMountainOils.com. You can link to them through our website as well. And if you purchase through our website, then we know that you're buying, and it helps us out too, because Rocky Mountain Oils is a sponsor of ours, and it really helps us to know how many of you really like their product so that possibly we can keep them as a sponsor in the coming years. So if you really like their stuff, go through our website, buy the product, or you can go direct. We don't mind. We really appreciate you guys, and we try to bring you some added specials and added bonuses whenever we can with Rocky Mountain Oils because it's such a great product. Defense, 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 lemon, 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 eucalyptus, 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 and black cumin. Who would have thought that? That just blows my mind. Paul, any parting words for us? We've got just a few minutes left.
Well, let me just kind of put it down to this here. We talk about the oils and as preventative or help healing there. Anything that you can do with good nutrition, good diet, just try to go out and switch to good alternatives out there. Drink a little bit more water, eat more greens, do all this. You're going to find out that you notice little improvements, but where it really shines is 10, 20 years down the road. It can make all the difference in your health and nutrition. So, the essential oils and the supplements, they're great supports and great assisting there. But, anytime that you can look at your diet and say, no, look, I'm not going to drink this carbonated beverage anymore. I'm going to switch to fruit juice or switch from fruit juice to just plain water. You're going to find out that, you get a lot of great results just doing the little things for a long period of time. So just go out there and keep improving.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul, for being with us again today and just wrapping up our summer because this is something really great going into the school year. We're gonna need that good health, good nutrition, especially because our kids' school lunches going downhill, guys. They keep saying that they're not, but they are. They're going downhill. So we need to really pump those fruits and vegetables and good essential oils and good probiotics and things like that into our kids and into ourselves. They learn by example. So
yeah,
and I can attest to the fact that when I was younger, I didn't take care of myself. I wasn't very healthy. Now that I'm older, I am suffering for it, and I'm having to kind of correct all of that. And it takes a little longer, I think, when you're older,
yes,
to kind of correct the cycle. But once you do, it's totally, totally worth it. Again, Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So guys, remember, you need to go to our site at thingsinmyhead.net and not only go to Rocky Mountain Oils, but keep an eye out because we are going to be giving away a bottle of the Muscle Relax when that comes out. That is our custom blend that we won when they had the contest with Rocky Mountain Oils and Native American Nutritionals. Now, also, we want to let you know that we are going back to our weekly podcast. We have been, over the summer, we've had a bi-monthly podcast because it's, things slow down during the summertime and you're out with your kids and we don't want to bug you at all. So what we did was we kind of slowed down the podcast a little bit, but now going back into August, we are going to go back to a weekly podcast. And I want to let you know something that's coming up. In August, we are going to be talking about health, getting healthy, losing weight, getting fit, all of that kind of stuff because the school year's coming up, but also summertime is over and it's time to get down to business. And let's just get in there, get to work, get healthy. We're starting with our probiotics and essential oils, defense. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of wonderful, not only programs that you can use to help yourself lose weight, get fit, that sort of thing, but we're going to be looking at them truthfully and really just breaking things down for you and letting you know maybe what you can use and maybe what's not so good out there. But keep listening every week on thingsinmyhead.net. You can hear us on iTunes, on Stitcher Radio, on TuneIn, and of course our website. We want you to come back and join us every week because we've got some really great guests like Paul Dean. And we'll talk to you next time on Things in My Head. Bye for now.